Welcome back to episode 3 of building a WordPress theme with Tailwind and underscores. Today we are going to set up Tailwind and our Gulp process to build out our style sheet. First thing we want to do is install Tailwind. All of this is documented very well on the TailwindCSS.com documentation. We're going to be using npm for this, so let's go ahead and get started. First we need to go into our project. And from here, we need to go to our theme folder, which is going to be in WP Content, Themes, Tailwind Theme. Now we want to go ahead and start up a package.json file to keep track of all of our dependencies. So let's go ahead and do that by typing npm init. And I'm just going to hit enter and use all the default commands here. Alright, so once that's created, we can double check in PHP Storm. We have our package.json, and that looks great. Now we need Tailwind, so npm install, or just I for short. Remember, it's a shorthand there. TailwindCSS save dev. That's going to take just a second, so I will skip ahead. Okay, now once that's done, let's go ahead and set up our Tailwind config file. To do that, we'll do /node-modules.bin tailwind init, and then the name of your config file. I'm going to call it tailwind.js. Alright, let's check it out real quick. Back to PHP Storm, we have our Tailwind dev dependency. We also have Tailwind.js. I don't think we'll be touching this in this tutorial, but you can go through here, change your colors, and change a whole lot of configuration. All that's really well documented on the Tailwind site. Next, we're going to set up Gulp. If you do not already have Gulp installed globally, we want to sudo npm install gulp -- global. Now for our Gulp file, I do have a gist here. I'll put the link in the description below. We're going to need three things. We're going to need Gulp, Gulp Sass, and Gulp Post CSS. So let's go ahead and get those installed as well. So we need Gulp, Gulp Sass, and Gulp Post CSS. And go ahead and save it to our dev dependencies. While that's going, let's go ahead and copy this Gulp file here. Back in our theme folder here, we're going to create a new folder called gulpfile.js, and go ahead and paste in the code that's in that gist. Basically all this is going to do is use Tailwind to bundle our Sass with the Tailwind utilities, build out the components and everything we want in there. The default task watches it, so we'll be able to start that up while we're making changes, and anytime we make a change to our Sass file, it'll go ahead and compile our CSS for us. Alright, let's check to see we have our dependencies all finished here. So let's go ahead and get Sass set up. So we're going to make a new directory here called Sass, and a new file called style.scss. Now currently we have a style CSS file, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff that underscores shipped with, but we don't want it. So all we're going to do is copy this header here, the comment for the theme name all the way down to tags. Let's put that in our style CSS and do a / to close out the comment. Now Tailwind needs two things. If we go back to our Tailwind docs, it needs the preflight. So we'll go ahead and put that in here. After the preflight, we can do our custom components. The next thing it needs is the utilities. So Tailwind utilities, and then any custom utilities that we want to add on afterwards will go in here. So let's go ahead and check to see if our Gulp file is working correctly. So what we'll just do is we will do Gulp style, and that is going to update our compiled CSS file, and now this has all of the Tailwind, normalize, and utilities all put in here for us. All those colors we saw in the configuration file, everything's built for us there. Alright, so we have Tailwind set up, we have our Gulp file in place, and we are ready to start actually building our theme next episode.